Well, it's another great evening. It's Saturday, 27th of August. It's Motorsport proudly brought to you by Cityville. Cityville is the number one stop center where you go for the moment of relaxation, and of course you get yourself freshly relaxed, where you find a lot of goody moments of celebration, where you end either at any one time of breaking, you get to have every bit of edible. At Cityville, it's just almost nearer at the G junction. I always call it a V junction near Bokoto White Flats as you're dropping to Chila Road Police Station as you're coming from WBS on Tinder. But as you're coming from town, you just have after Bokoto White Flats. It's on your left. Cityville is the number one relaxation center. We have the best service, I could say. We give the best. Our customers are the bosses, of course. You ask for what you want, and now the password for you, the fanatics of motorsport, is of course when you just say motorsport, you'll be ushered in like a king or a queen. I'm in the studio. I'm lucky enough. I'm going to in the next after the break, I'll host you over to a cream of youngsters who have made us proud of their activities. That is, they are racing in the cockpit, and definitely they'll give us enough of their time, and we get to know who are they and what are their aspirations going into one of the sports considered to be the most born breaking. But of course, they have lived over that above, and they are now becoming aspiring champions, and already champions in the making. And we already have a champion already done with the African round, being the 85cc champion, and save the man who was so much of the darling of the crowd. That is none other than, I'll tell you the name. I can't break it off now. We have a lot on the lineup today, and of course we're going to go around having the latest update with WRC, and then definitely we shall see what's coming on block. Of course, the practice of the Region Grand Prix is already done, and we're just hoping for big action for Team Mercedes. Rosberg seem to be fastest on the practice moment, and of course, and we are seeing the youngster, the 18-year Verstappen. He's of course believing also to be not letting go in his home yet. And we know we've seen at the WRC where Sebastian Ogier tried his all moments to see that he doesn't lose a home event. And of course, we saw him revive his winning style when he became the last weekend is a win of the Deutschland Roll of German. Getting away straight, and of course we shall have a little bit discussion moment. Our discussion moment today is going to run around the theme Africa. That's just been concluded, and of course we're going to discuss a lot what happened down in Jamhuri Park just last weekend, and the boys will need to tell us the experience. And you guess what? Just go Blogman, you just go WBS Uganda, Mobi. You'll definitely get us. You either go live streaming and get your program lively running on your handset. That is definitely those two guys who have good smartphones. You can have us live, and if you happen to be missing, you can still go use the WBS Uganda Mobi. You'll definitely go to any program. You click at the motorsport. Actually, for motorsport, you just click at motorsport. You'll have us live running on your handset. That's your smartphone. Well, Cityville, I would say Cityville is the point to go, and straight away, having been fueled by Cityville, this program is probably, remember, sponsored by Cityville, your number one relaxation center. Down over to WRC, we had a match pennant weekend happening in German, and of course many guys came up raising their heads up saying that it was a trying moment, but man, it's one of the fastest rallies we had this year. And seeing off from Finland, we went down into the hard stepping of the pedals, the accelerators in the Adash Deutschland Roll of German. And of course, one of the guys who one of the boys who did the match wonders, the Hyundai tree, that's finishing third. That was none other than Anders Mikkelsen. He still believes he was likely to feel the victory, but unlikely. He just slightly mixed out. And it was a moment of celebration for Team Volkswagen, though one of the drivers, that's Yari Rativera, had a hinge in the second day of the rally, and unfortunately, but still, Team Volkswagen was still celebrating the win with Sebastian Ogier, the homeboy, celebrating his win after a drought of many sessions of drives when he had no win. After he had won back-to-back, remember, the first rally was won by him, then run down to Mexico. He was the darling of the event, and definitely there the boys took on him, and seemed the competition wasn't running around only Volkswagen, but with other teams coming up like the Hyundai i20 has proven to be so good, and luckily or unluckily the motorsport has been also unlucky in the situations and few moments. And we saw Citroen is Chris Mick also picking an event that is his home event, the Britain round of the WRC. Well, in the runs of the WRC, we saw actually the links have been indicating that Anders Mikkelsen believes he took a big step forward in his asphalt performance last weekend, his Adak Rally of Deutschland, and claims his fourth place is still felt with a win. Let's get a bit of the ambience, and of course we shall let you go through and give you a little bit the peek in it of what happened at the Rally of Germany. And definitely we can go straight on the Formula 1, and we shall just go straight on the break and get back with the sitters on set. Well, that was the match sprint action that happened down in Germany just a week ago. And of course, many things have been said, and we saw in the first I-20 Hyundai, that's Thierry Neuville finishing third, and a podium finish capped with another great performance from the determined Neuville, even if after falling short of the second place by 1/10 thread to the mixed reactions at the end of the power stage. That's why this other I-20 driver, Thierry Neuville, lost off the lead, actually the second position podium finish, by just a margin of few in the draw. He led after the earlier leading. He picked the lead from the winner, Sebastian Ogier, and took up the lead all day out. Unfortunately, the power stage drew him off, and they had him have his second position lie off to none other than, of course, the second WRC, Volkswagen driver, that's Anders Mikkelsen. And of course, in the gauge, he still believes he's well heart opened and saying probably it was all of meant to go as it went to the winner of the day. That's Sebastian Ogier. On the other side of the Volkswagen are of the driver, that is the WRC champion, who is the defending champion of the WRC, that's Sebastian Ogier. The events were really going according to the plan, and but for the Ogier, and one did, is a pre-event, and he explained that he aimed at to keep out of the trouble day one, but but built on the advantage of the 2-day and managed it the final day. And of course, that was one of his strategies that he says he has confessed to the WRC link that it was a calculative run that led him through to the podium. Another man that I always say he's always unfortunate, the M-Sport driver, that's his motorsport, the Fiesta, the RS Fiesta driver who ended the race at as a 6th position finish. He says the tarmac, the Norwegian, was least favorite Lord Service, and the rally won't have changed his opinion, but still looking on the positive side, he had a very reliable run, counting from day 1 to the last day running. And of course, the I-20, the second other driver for I-20, that is Hyundai, that is Hayden Paddon, who ended the race in 5th position. He seemed to have been impressive with the way he was opening on the first day, and it was a live one. As he says, the Q wheel lacked outspin and puncture, and of course the opening 2 stages that threw him off the podium runners. He was one of the few top runners who was anticipated to be in the top lead. Well, that is too much, so we could not too much go above board with the German Grand Prix, sorry, the German Dutchman Rally of Germany. We go straight to the Formula 1. Of course, that evening, we've had a splendid evening where one of the youngsters who made his debut only made an appearance under the signing of Red Bull. That's none other than the Verstappen youngster. The Belgian seems to be much in the mood not to let go of his home event. Where we're going to see, we're going to give you, let's walk you through the technical bit of the Belgian Grand Prix, where match action, which is supposed to be calculated before close of business tomorrow, we shall be seeing the winner. Could it be the 18-year star winning his second race, or the normal stars, the top dogs, to keeping on trailing on to the top with the best calculative excellence running? Let's get the looking through of the Belgian Grand Prix practice that has seen the youngster also book himself in the top flight runs.
Here the drivers will brake from 335 km an hour for turns 5 and 6 Les Combes. Another fast combination of left and right corners that take the drivers onto the short downhill run towards 8, 105 km an hour third gear long right-hander. The drivers will then quickly accelerate up to 167 km an hour for the fourth gear left of turn 9. They hit the gas again for the long run down to turns 10 and 11, the famous Pouin corner. This long double apex left-hander will really test the car's aerodynamics and is taken at 300 km an hour in 8th gear on the entry with an exit speed of 290. Then it's another short blast up to 306 km an hour before braking for the 160 km an hour right at turn 12, which feeds into the 5th gear left of turn 13. This is called the Fagnes chicane. After another squirt of power, the drivers arrive at 247 km an hour for the right of Stavelot, which is taken at 145 in 4th. They then quickly get up to 245 for turn 15, which follows immediately afterwards, and where they'll have to be careful to observe the track limits on the exit. Next comes the long run into the fearsome Blanchimont corner, turn 17, a rapid left that's taken at 325 km an hour in 8th gear. This is another overtaking spot as the drivers brake from 325 down to just 75 km an hour, and second gear for the right-hand turn 18, which is soon followed by the 68 km an hour left, which takes the field back onto the pit straight and into another lap of this majestic circuit.
Well, that's a little bit. We always try to get you through of how to make a follow-up, a keen follow-up as you're watching your match action at the Grand Prix arenas. You always hope to give you the guidance regarding that. Of course, we are so much honored that we are sponsored by Cityville, where we have, I told you, so #1 stop center for a very relaxing, and I call it a serene environment where you can relax and have an evening. Of course, you get to have a chat. You can go to Cityville, you can fail to have a sitting point for meetings, and of course wedding, and of course party points of meeting. And away from that, they always have strong points. And we actually go on to that. We can go beyond over that. We wish you what, of course, the unfortunate bit of it this evening, the Mercedes driver decided not to drive the really fast superstar tires. Of course, I know they may go miscalculating of how they could be running on the track. But we believe with 1-2 lead by Red Bull, that is where I told Verstappen, the youngster in Red Bull, the new signing in Red Bull. And of course, Force India taking up the fifth, third to fifth. And of course, Mercedes came in, of course, in the 6th to 13th position within the bracket. The session seems to be much hilariously promising, with much action coming over tomorrow. Let's get over to the break and come back with the stars. Guess what? I have the Oran brothers in-house, ready to give us what they all went into down at the Park, Nairobi, at the Film Africa round.